Okay, so we're going into robotics today, and I want to take it another level up. Remember, we spoke about doing this a lot, and I'm in yellow just to kind of show you guys. This is the bookmark for all of you out there going up when it comes to robotics. So, this video is going to talk about the Type 0 to Type 1 civilizations, and we're going deep, right? So grab out a piece of paper, probably a pen, take down some notes, etc. I am doing this all off the cuff, so please bear with me. It's a bit all over the place, but okay, so Type 0 society is where we are, or civilization, you want to call it. So we have what they call non-renewable energy for the most part, or at a very, very low level. So if we were to say that, let's say like the sun is emanating, right? The sun is emanating, so heaps of beings from another universe that might exist, they can see the sun emanating energy, right? But because the earth has such a low frequency of like emanating energy, so to speak, because we can't renew the energy, it's not kind of going out there, right? It's not pushing out there. So we're seen as a not good enough species, so to speak, in the continuum of what it means to have a civilization that is Type 0 to like Type 5, and it keeps going on, right? You guys might want to check out the Kurzgesagt video for this. By the way, this is going to be long, so I hope you guys bear with me on this. So the Kurzgesagt learning video, it's a really big channel. You guys check it out for like different types of civilizations if you want to go deep into this. But really what I want to cover is the possibility of like humanoids being from another planet, like I talked about. And like I said, we're going into news as well, so don't click off the channel. I know it sounds crazy, but this stuff is actually closer to real than we've ever thought possible in the past. I spoke about like on another planet that I won't speak about for this, but there is different signs of life because they've found different processes that create life, including like water samples and crystals, etc., that create types of life, and they've actually found another form of species, so to speak, through that. Now, this is just bacteria at this stage, but it is enough to show that there's a possibility of human life on other planets. And because of this, we can see that Earth is not the only life-giving planet that we have in this universe. Now, either that or everything is just fake, and the God, so to speak, that we have is just a higher form of being that's kind of created everything around us, and that allows us to kind of matter manipulate what's going on in the future, right? So this is kind of like a gift in a way, if you want to see it that way. And again, this is very hard to talk about because obviously we're talking about religion, politics, political views. We're talking about dystopias versus utopias. We're talking about stuff that's so advanced from our understanding that we just can't figure it out, right? So the important part here, though, is understanding the possibility of another life species giving birth to a type of AI is very possible, and not just possible, but likely, right? Especially if they're an advanced civilization. So if there's an advanced civilization that exists on another planet, which again, we've had proof that there's life on other planets, that is life, right? Water is the bringer of life. A majority of our bodies are actually made up with water, right? So if you understand that, then you understand the possibilities of this could be limitless in terms of what they are to us and vice versa, what we could be to them. But we're always going to be lower on the continuum. And like I said, if we don't get to at least Type 1 civilization, we're not going to be able to ever get into that intergalactic alliance, so to speak, of other species coming together with us, etc., and interconnecting, interprocreating with each other like the nerd's biggest fantasy, right? The blue girl from another planet, coming down and attracted to the human nerd. So it's funny to think about it on this level, but again, it is real. This is all very possible and very likely. So if you think about like an AI on another planet, they've already probably reached some form of like ASI or artificial superintelligence. So they're able to duplicate their AIs, and it's just kind of a normal thing. You can think of it like the Wakanda video where Suri used her own AI that's in her watch, like I've spoken about on other videos, to use a fly or something to go in and surveillance what was going on, right? and for other things like talking to it, getting information, etc. Where are we? Blah, blah, blah. So all of this stuff is, like I said, possible, and that's the practical approach versus, like I said, the intergalactic approach, which seems so far out of our range that we can't even understand that, right? So to have silicone beings on another planet is very likely because of this, because an ASI or artificial superintelligence would be able to create these on a level that we've never comprehended before. And what we think is automation would be on a totally different continuum than what existed in the past. So what I mean by this is like the capability of creating robots at such a fast pace where it's almost instant is very likely. So what does that mean, right? That means from the Type 0 civilization to the Type 1 civilization, we are so unfathomably underpowered to the fact that somebody could send billions, if they wanted to, billions of robots down to literally take over our world if they chose to. But again, we hold very little significance in this way. And if you think about it, we could just be like a historic type of society that is kind of the remnants of what they used to be, what other civilizations or even humans that are more advanced than us used to be. Like, we never thought about this, and you probably haven't thought about this at all, but there's the possibility that humans are more advanced than us as humans, and they just cut themselves off from us. Right? So they gave us like DNA samples, etc., of them to create themselves, but they gave us different forms of advancements that are actually way lower, and improvement is slow. So we're kind of the historical, realistic Earth, you guys get my drift, of what used to be. So that could be a possibility too. And like I said, all of this could be true. All of this could be true, and it's not, it sounds crazy, right? Like, there's another one of you that exists on another planet, and they're so far advanced from you, they have an AI watch that can literally kill you in 2 seconds. Yeah, but it can also do a lot of good too, right? You can also do a lot of good too. And what I mean by this is the utopia side of this, where the possibilities are endless in terms of creating different worlds and having the actual capability of these worlds turning into something amazing. So literally creating different stories on the world view, world society view of all the conflicts and news that you guys are seeing happening around the world, right? Like, those are literally stories that are making up the advancement or the destruction of different worlds. And if you put that to infinite amounts of universes, etc., you've got the recipe for something amazing, right? If you're going in the right direction. But again, you need certain people leading this in the right direction. Otherwise, everything goes towards a dystopia. And what I mean by that is, like I said, sending billions of robots to kind of change the world, right? Or end the world, so to speak, because it's destroyed, and all of these negative values that we have, like greed, power, needing to push other people down, crabs in the bucket, etc., they've taken over. And for a society like that, by the way, understanding that we have free will, however, it is still the values that align, like I said in other videos. The reason for this is to have a being that's above you, that's actually creating you as a world, they need to have certain values that are on the life-giving, kind, you know, all of those great things that you have, loving, cherishing, caring, kind of continuum. If they don't have those values, then they would have never created us as the lower species anyway. Do you see what I'm saying? So that needs to exist first. If that doesn't exist first, we don't exist, and therefore we're as good as just being destroyed or some kind of trial planet for them to play around in. So that is the point of view that I want to give you guys and girls. Like I said, in terms of robotics and going to another level, this is understanding that another planet or another form of civilization or beings have access to something that is so autonomous that they can create robots instantly, which sounds totally out of this world. But like I said, we're at the point where we're trying to get in the next 5 years 2 robots to every human. And I spoke about the robot vacuum I got. It's a little bit intelligent. It can do stuff. It can create circles, do Rockies on the road. Yeah, so we're at that point. Put an AI in that and it's incredible. Let me know what you guys think about this. Catch you guys for the next one soon.